Thank you very much. I just wanted the opportunity to tell you about our research programme. It's a national programme called Child Taught What Works, and to get you involved in that programme. It's about targeting therapy for preschool children with primary speech and language impairment. And we have quite a big group of applicants and who design the research. It's a national study, as I said, and this slide just tells you the various different groups that are involved: our advisory group, parent panel, and our research team. Oh, I'm quicker than I thought I was. We've had 6 case study sites already involved, and they've been selected on the basis of giving us variation in terms of ethnicity, socioeconomic status, whether they're urban, rural, whether they have a transient population, what sort of proportion of educational difficulties they have. And I wanted to say thank you to all the people from ASLTIP who've been involved so far, who've responded to our survey that was on your website. And today's another opportunity for you to get involved. It's great to have representation from the independent sector involved in our research. Here are the data collection methods that we've used so far: focus groups, qualitative data collection processes, the national surveys, children's engagement groups, and a series of systematic reviews. We're hoping to build a model of evidence-based practice that uses the scientific research literature that builds on clinical expertise and that also takes into account patient-parent preferences and also children's perspectives. So far, we've uncovered a number of therapy themes. Therapy is a complex process with lots of different components, and what we believe we're eliciting from here are the kind of central components of therapy, the aspects that are crucial to success, if you like. And we're looking at the literature at the moment to identify ways of delivering therapy in each of these themes. We're also looking at the strategies and activities associated with each theme. And you get different balances of activities and strategies depending on which theme you're talking about. Within this one, you get relatively few activities, but lots of different strategies. Within this one, there's a bit of a different balance and lots of activities all under that heading of listening games. We look at the next one, which is parent empowerment, that kind of thing. Actually, not very many strategies came out of that, despite the fact that it's seen as one of the critical components of therapy. Therapists talk about empowering parents all the time, and yet actually they didn't have very many strategies and activities to talk about how they would deliver that. So we're investigating that whole process of the balance between those two and what are the different activities and so on. We're also trying to identify, after the activities and strategies, we're looking at the various modifications that we make with therapy. What sort of thing drives us to modify our interventions? And from our focus groups, we've identified a great long list of factors, and then through the surveys that some of you will have participated in, we're looking to see whether those are used frequently or not, and how they affect the therapy that we actually provide. So here we have something like the age of the child, if you're dealing with a speech problem, affects how you focus that, and whether it's on the listening side or on a speech side and so on. So we're looking at how those factors interact. We're now in a phase of refining it all and asking people to define some of these areas that we're talking about, and we're working with our parents, but we're also asking our therapists to participate in this. We're coming up with a framework that looks at the assessment processes needed to identify the particular therapy theme, if you like, the component of therapy, and then how to measure it. And you'll see an example of how that's starting to pan out come up in a minute. But we're wanting to see what kind of assessments help you to identify that this particular component and what aspect of this component is needed within a therapeutic framework, and how you would measure the outcome. So, as I said, this is an opportunity for for ASLTIP members to get involved again. On your tables are postcards, really. On one side, it requires you to describe how you would tell a preschool family about a particular component of therapy. And on the other side, it asks you to give us your name and details. So we're asking you now, if you're interested, to respond to that, describe how you would talk to families about a particular intervention. You can do that anonymously and just leave them on the table. If you'd like to be involved in further workshops or surveys, if you put your details on the other side, and again, leave it on the table, then I'm going to go round at the end and collect them up. So thank you very much. You saw our website address. If there's any other information you need about the programme, then have a look on our website. Thank you very much for listening.